So you're originally from the Rhone Valley, am I right? Is that where you were born?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, originally in the
yes.
Rhone Valley. Yeah, and then I think you lived for a while in Provence and Aix-en-Provence. So we're kind of, for those not as familiar with the map, we're kind of in the southeast of France. But one of the topics we've talked a lot about, and one of your main importing focuses is in Bordeaux. So and that's a little more in the southwest of France. So how did you get so passionate about Bordeaux, and why did Bordeaux become one of the focuses of your portfolio?
So, as I said earlier, when I started, I started with a tour of Provence and the Rhone Valley because I knew everything there. I could make, I made that tour from my office in Durham. Once I had done that, I became aware that I could not finish my life with just one tour. I needed to have more because hopefully the people who took that tour wanted to do it again, and they were not going to take the same tour. So I needed to give them an alternative.
Right.
And the first thing that came to my mind was Bordeaux, because Bordeaux is the center of the wine world, in the world, and including France. And I didn't know. I mean, I just had a sense about Bordeaux, but I didn't know anything specific whatsoever. But on the other hand, I had a very good friend, a guy that I always loved, Jacques Barbe is his name. He was at the second school of photography that I attended back in the late 70s in Marseille. And he's a native from Bordeaux. He did all his career in Bordeaux. And so I gave him a call. I said, hey, you know what? I have that tour of Provence that is doing really well. I mean, I really like that tour. It's fantastic. And I need to do another tour, and I'm thinking of Bordeaux. Do you think that I should be doing it? Do you think there's anything interesting to tour in Bordeaux? And he said, of course. And of course, I mean, Bordeaux people think of themselves like New Yorkers think of themselves. You know, if it comes to wine, they think that, well, there's Bordeaux and then there's everything else. I mean, everything is a couple notches below. So of course,
right. I'm from New York. I understand exactly what you're saying.
I know that. So he told me, of course, and come on over. We'll host you. We'll show you everything. I mean, and he did better than that. I mean, to this day, when I go to Bordeaux, I stay with him. I rent his partner's apartment in Bordeaux because I like to stay closer to the city. And he also, and maybe above all, introduced me to a fellow, Sergio Pilar, who is my second in command during the tours in Bordeaux. That guy is a premier sommelier de France, which means that when he 30 some years ago, when he competed for that, he was one of the two best sommeliers in France, and he made his whole career in what was for the longest time the only star restaurant in the Bordeaux region. So he knows a fair amount, I think it's fair to say, about Bordeaux, and he helped me save a lot of time. He introduced me to key wineries, and like Château Les Houles, for instance, he introduced me to, and Aubergeron, the Sauternes that I have, and this kind of thing. And these people are the best in their appellation, and so he facilitated a lot of the comprehension that I needed to acquire about Bordeaux. So that's why I had a second focus on Bordeaux after the Rhone, is because just very simply there's somebody who could introduce me to it and save me a lot of time and bring me in no time to basically to one of the best selections that can be made in Bordeaux.
Yeah. And let's talk about your Bordeaux selections, because Bordeaux is synonymous with, I guess, the aristocracy of wine. It's one of the most famed wine regions, and I think people think of these wines only for the rich. The Bordeaux houses are these palatial chateaus. These first growth Bordeaux's go for more than some people pay in rent. But so much of your selection we're selling at $15 to $30. So tell us about your Bordeaux's and maybe why people construe Bordeaux's as wines for very few, but the Bordeaux's you brought in from you are maybe more of like wine for the people.
No, absolutely. I mean, first of all, there's a lot of wine in Bordeaux, but I mean a lot of wine. There's no other region in France produces half as much wine as Bordeaux. So the consequence of that is that there's a lot of wine to sell, and that tends to drive the prices down. By opposition to a small appellation that is not necessarily all that interesting somewhere, but since it's small, there's always a few people around that want it, etc., and that drives the prices up. So it's the exact opposite phenomenon in Bordeaux, and what does that mean is that it makes a wine that can be extremely affordable. So now the problem is, how do I find some good wine at that? Because it's one thing because you would think that maybe some of these wines are cheap, but then are they drinkable? And yes, some are very drinkable, and it's not everything is born equal in Bordeaux that way. So, and within that, you're going to find some people who have, for whatever reason, been able to develop certain wines that are very well done. Like I'm thinking of Chateau Coulonges, for instance. This is a winery that I discovered indirectly from Serge. He had directed me to another winery, and which was okay, but no more than that. And that guy was selling a white from Chateau Coulonges. So that's how I started with Chateau Coulonges. And I discovered over the years, and I think you have to, that it's these guys are able to make wines that are extremely affordable, organic on top of it, which is not the most common thing in Bordeaux, and that are extremely well done. So well done then that by now Chateau Coulonges has become my biggest producer in volume, and the one that I sell everywhere. And I remember that once when we first met several years ago, I had a few own wines, and I had already 2 or 3 Bordeaux, or more exactly 2 or 3 producers, which all each had several wines. So it looked like I had a lot of Bordeaux. And you told me, well, but Bordeaux, it's my customers don't buy any Bordeaux. It's old-fashioned and this and that. And by now,
I might have said that.
That's what you buy the most from me. So,
that's true. That's true. I do more Bordeaux from you than anyone else. So yeah. So why should people revisit Bordeaux? Is it because the styles are always consistent? Is it because there's this value that they didn't know existed? If you were to make a pitch, which we're recording this, so feel free to make a pitch, except people who don't think about Bordeaux as an everyday wine, why should they think of Bordeaux as maybe a wine they should grab more of?
Well, because as you've said before, it is an everyday wine. It's the cheapest ones that I have, or some of the very cheapest ones that I have, and that you have, are from Bordeaux. And I've already explained why. That's because there's a lot of Bordeaux available, so that drives the prices down. Mm-hmm. And so, but now, why would people drink that wine versus another wine, which is either at comparable prices or not? Well, because I think that Bordeaux are easy to drink. So there's 3 types of Bordeaux. There's the whites, there's the red, and there's the rosé. We talk about
rosé. And so many people think that Bordeaux begins and ends in red wine, which I think is a great point you're making. Is there's these great fresh whites and great rosés, and I think I carry more whites and rosés from Bordeaux from you than red.
Yes, that's actually, interestingly, the first time I met Nicolas Roux, the owner and vintner of Chateau Coulonges, we talked about whites, I don't remember why, and I seemed to imply that I was more interested by the whites in Bordeaux than by the reds, and he told me that's interesting, because most of people think of Bordeaux as a red wine town.
Right.
And it's true that by then already, I was thinking the opposite. Yeah, sure, maybe, but for me, the most interesting wines in Bordeaux are actually the whites. I love the reds, don't get me wrong, but if I had to choose, if I could only take one bottle of wine with me on that desert island, it would be a Bordeaux white, because I find them extremely appealing. Again, if I have to compare, more so than the red to some extent, because everything is relative. Reds are great. But the white Bordeaux, I mean, that may find strange to people, but I prefer a white Bordeaux to a white Loire Valley, for instance. There's more sunshine in it. There's typically more fruit. My tendency is always to favor wines with fruit. And by comparison to a Loire Valley, for instance, because it's very, they are along the same lines, more or less. Loire Valley is going to be more mineral, and a Bordeaux is going to be fruitier. I prefer fruitier than more mineral, personally. And also, the Bordeaux is most likely going to be cheaper than the Loire Valley. So here you go. That's why I like so much Bordeaux whites. You have a white like the one that I'm drinking here, the Haut Champion Entre Deux Mers. It's a fantastic wine. And here I have left that open for a while. It has let's say, decanted a little bit or oxidized a little bit. It's fantastic. I recommend everybody to try that. There's a fair amount of Semillon in this wine, and it shows in that kind of degustation style. You have a Chateau Léoul, which is the best Grave Blanc Sec there is, basically. I've never tasted a white wine in Bordeaux that's not even, let alone better, but not even as good as that, as long as it's not aged in oak. It's a wine that's untouchable. And it's still a wine that's untouchable in terms of quality. Nobody comes close to it, and it's a wine that's under $25.
Right.
And that's really exceptional. That raises itself to the level of Burgundy in a different aromatic profile.
Yeah. Again, just to follow up on what you said, I think the touchstones are there in Bordeaux for people, where the dominant white wine, white grape is Sauvignon Blanc, and one of the dominant reds is Cabernet Sauvignon. These are grapes that people know and frequently love, and yet they might not be as familiar with those in Bordeaux. So it's a great entry into Bordeaux because these are grapes that they know, just in a slightly unique style that only Bordeaux can produce.
Yeah, and like to go to the reds now, I mean, that's where I think that Bordeaux is maybe very interesting, because it's reds that are extremely accessible, both in terms of price and in terms of drinkability. They, especially with food, they go to almost anything. You have that Coulanges Fût de Chêne, which is probably my best seller of all wines. That's a although it's a 50% cab, 50%, excuse me, Merlot wine. It's mostly the cab that you feel, because the cab is a little bit is a dominant type of grape, right? It tends to dwarf the other ones. The Merlot is there to make the cab accessible, and that's a wine that goes with almost any food. And that's cost less than $15, I think, or close to that. And that's a wine, that's an everyday type of wine, that's better than an everyday type of wine. There's one thing that you haven't mentioned is the Malbec. Malbec is originally among other, not necessarily from Bordeaux, but from the region. And Malbec has been a component of Bordeaux wines for some time, although less now than 40 years ago, but still it is. And you know, the Chateau Coulanges Malbec is a fantastic Malbec. I'm not the only one to find that possibly the best Malbec I've ever drunk. And that's also a wine under $20.
Yeah. And I think it's an interesting wine because so many people associate Malbec with Argentina now, and yours might be one of the only 100% Malbecs I've seen from Bordeaux. So it's really interesting to visit this varietal in a style that people might not be as familiar with.
Yeah, and it's actually, weirdly enough, it's a Malbec that tastes more like an Argentinian Malbec than like a Cahors. Yet it's definitely not an Argentinian Malbec either.
Right.
It's drier. It's a little more subtle and less bold, I'd say. But it's a very, very interesting Malbec with some blonde tobacco in the middle body, and again a little lighter, a little mellower, like everything in Bordeaux, you know. A very, very, very interesting Malbec.
Yeah. It's a very cool wine, and And like you said, many people don't know that Malbec is a Bordeaux varietal.